right. This is the last time you're going to hear all right. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
No, we're just kidding. This is though.
Well, kind of.
Well, kind of, but only for a short period. Unless you want to re-listen to all of our episodes and because you miss hearing all right.
Yeah. Basically,
this is our season finale
episode of the season. Yeah.
Yes.
Season 1. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe.
That's so cool to say.
I know. We've finished a whole season. That's crazy. It feels like we just started.
I actually might start getting nostalgic and cry during this episode.
Know. I feel like we just started, to be honest. It's been an
absolute shit show, but a beautiful shit show.
It's been so chaotic. I wish that you guys could like properly understand the stress Georgia and I have been under over the last 6 months for this podcast, just because like her and I aren't particularly the most organized, I would say.
Yeah.
So
I think we are, but we are for like we're organized for our own like business stuff that we have, but because we basically tried to start, because honestly a podcast is a whole business in itself, because we basically tried to start a new business together like super last minute.
Well, and in the middle of us having extremely busy
schedules
seasons. Like, I feel like for you've had one of the busiest seasons ever.
Yeah. And I've just been like with me traveling nonstop, you working nonstop on shoots and moving to Paris while we're still trying to do a podcast.
A lot.
While also we're both trying to like edit everything, get together in the same place and shoot, while having guests, while coming up with funny segments, while trying to put out valuable information so we don't sound like idiots. It's just been a lot.
It's been a big learning curve, which is so good. I feel like you have to challenge yourself to grow, and this has definitely challenged us, and I think it's like taught us a lot of valuable lessons. Maybe we should talk about what lessons we've learned.
Okay, I'm down.
2 lessons each or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say this episode is more to like recap our season with you guys. Talk about
it's a little chit chat.
Yeah, just a little chit chat. Talk about some things that have happened, lessons we've learned,
funny stories.
Just kind of say thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. 2 valuable lessons. Okay, for me, a valuable lesson has been I need to be more patient. I'm not the most impatient person.
Claire is earnest. So impatient.
I'm very passionate and earnest, you know? So it's hard for me to like wait for things. And this has taught me that like when working with other people, because I do work with other people a lot, but not consistently. Like I work with random people for short amount of times, but I've never really worked, other than the startup I worked with 2 years ago, I've never really worked like consistently with a team. And you and Jack and I are kind of like a team. And so it's taught me that when you're working with other people, you need to be more patient and you need to let people figure it out on their own time and not necessarily like it's okay for me to let you figure things out on your own, even if I think like there's a way we should do it. Like sometimes we just both need to experiment at our own ways to then come to like a conclusion. You know what I mean?
I would actually agree with that. But like I also, not to like steal yours, I'll give other ones, but I also have had to learn patience because Claire will like in the nicest way possible be like attacking me.
That is so dramatic. I don't attack you.
And
I batch text you and it stresses you out.
No,
the plant is attacking me right now.
I was gonna say, why is the plant like up on your back right now?
On my back tickling me. I don't like it.
But no. I'm not attacking in like a bad way. It'll just be like our. I think
you're just picturing you or me abusing you.
She'll be like, edit the podcast, get it out. And I'll be like, yes, Claire, yes, Your Majesty. No, I'm just kidding. We're not. It's not like that. But I think
they're like blink twice if you need help.
I know. Just kidding. No, but I think we both have our like, because I'm also very impatient. I'm a very like I just want to figure it out like right now type of person, and I think you and I, that is a strength that we both have when working together. But also, like you said, both equally, that's a weakness because there will be times where I'm like, Claire, like I just want you to figure this out, and you'll be like, Georgia, I just want you to figure this out. And
I don't think it's even us having to figure stuff out because we're both very like we're both go-getters. Like that's why this podcast started. We weren't like, oh, it's an idea that we should think about some more for 6 months. We were like, oh, you want to start a podcast? You want to start a podcast? Cool. I'm on Canva creating a logo.
Yeah,
like,
no, literally that is how it works.
Very like like I want this and I want it right now, and that's why I think we've had some success.
But that's why
we want it right now. But also some things you cannot get
right now.
You have to wait, and we're both terrible at that.
Exactly. Like we're like our impatience helps us to like you should just start a podcast and do it, and then record episodes, get a studio, get guests, just go for it. But then if it's not doing well or it's not exactly how we want it, we're like
this frustrated.
Yeah, we're like, this is the worst thing in the entire world. Like, why do we even do this?
Oh my gosh. So I would say another valuable lesson has been that in general, you are not nearly as bad as you think you are.
Yes.
And we have been like basically shit talking our own podcast to each other the whole time because we're perfectionists, and we've just been like, it's terrible, we hate it, it's not good enough, it's not good enough.
No one's listening, we sound stupid.
We've recently been getting so many sweet messages of people being like, we love your podcast, I listen every week. We've had people fangirl. We've had people be like, I listen every single time I like get my coffee and I listen. Georgia literally saw someone get in their editing groove while listening to our podcast.
It was like, so odd. We were like, wow, like people actually care what we have to say.
People actually like this, and we're not totally trying to gas ourselves up. We legitimately thought this was terrible. Like,
no, like I literally have probably like cried one night because I was like, I think Claire has too. We both cried, and we were like, we're putting ourselves out there, and it's not what we want. It's not like perfect, and
we're so hard on ourselves.
We're so hard. Like I've probably had way more negative self-talk than I have in my entire life since starting this podcast.
Really?
Yes, because but like not like in a way where I probably needed to grow, but just because like I don't know, like I'm such a perfectionist with stuff, and I know that in every situation where we have recorded our podcast, we both have either not slept, not eaten, it's rushed, like we have never recorded a podcast where we're like, okay, today we have nothing else on our mind but to do the podcast.
Right.
So I think with my personal self, I always know that like I have way better potential for things. And I think I've always just been hard on myself with this podcast because I'm like, okay, I could have done all of these things to make sure this was perfect and recorded, and I could say all these things that I want to say, but then that doesn't happen. So I'll get hard on myself and be like, okay, this sucks. Like I sound horrible. But I know that's not the case.
Well, and that's the thing too, though. Like we both listened to a bunch of other podcasts where the hosts spoke about how terrible their first 2 seasons or 3 seasons were. Like I listened to an episode of a podcast the other day where the guy was like, yeah, I mean, if you want to go listen to my early episodes, like you can, but like the first like 50 are shit. And I was like, the first 50?
Yeah.
But he was like, they're so bad. And then you went back on Joe Rogan. You went back on like a bunch of other podcasts.
I went back on a lot of podcasts.
Big podcasts. And you were like, they're so bad. The first few episodes are terrible.
So it made me feel better about us.
It made me, it made us feel better. And like, dude, we've had so many issues with the sound quality. It's just like been the bane of our existence.
Yeah.
But it's been good to learn that like, we are not doing it as well as we want to, but it is the beginning. We have to give ourselves grace, and we're not nearly as bad as we think we are. And the fact that people are actually enjoying it and sending us messages is like if you're watching on YouTube, I have a fat smile on my face.
Yeah, she does.
So like, it's just crazy when someone is telling you that they want to listen to you and they value what's coming out of your mouth.
Yeah,
like
it's
I
just
think
weird.
I word vomit all the time. So I'm like, why do you want to listen to me?
I feel like I think I was just talking about this. I feel like I don't ever even say the things that I actually want to say. So I'm like, oh, I'm not giving any value. Like this podcast just sucks. Mm-hmm. But then people will come like at your going away party. I forget who it was, but I literally had no idea who he was. And he came up to me and he was like, oh my God, are you Georgia, the other like partner in the podcast? And I was like, yes. I was like,
cute.
that's me. I was like, and he's like, oh my God, I love listening to you guys. Like you guys make me laugh so much.
What do you look like?
Hang on, he was super, super sweet. Dylan.
Wait, the writer.
Yes. We love him.
Yeah, he's so sweet. See, that's what I mean. Like
it was just super sweet and like unexpected. And like I didn't know who he was, but he knew like who I was because of the podcast, which just showed like, wow, like people actually pay attention. That's so cool.
Totally. And like I think a lot of people also don't necessarily like post on their, obviously I don't post every time I listen to a podcast episode on my social, so like people don't know what I'm listening to, and so we don't realize that there are like actually like decent amount of people for first season listening.
We have about like 100 people weekly listen to each episode.
That's pretty good.
But imagine putting like all 100 of those people in a room.
I know.
That's a lot.
That'd be overwhelming. I would cry.
I know.
But yeah, it's just been.
We did want to do a podcast launch party, but we fucked up.
You guys, I cannot emphasize enough how busy these seasons have been for us. Like, it's just I truly, only the people who know.
Literally,
like,
if you know, you
know. But like, it has been, there are so many things that we still want to do that like I am kind of sad. Like, I'm sad that we didn't do a podcast launch party.
I am too,
because I did really want to have some sort of like experience.
But you know what we could do in August when you're back?
Oh,
we could do like a end of the summer podcast launch to bring in season 2.
That's a good idea.
We could even record our first episode for season 2 there.
Live. Stop. Wait, wait, that's such a good idea.
And like, even
we could have people do questions. They could stand up with a mic and ask questions.
I don't know how that would work audio wise. Like, we'll have to figure that out.
I'm so in for
that could be cool.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Because then we can have like season 1 already out, and like we can have like video clips of all of us. And I really want to do, I was talking about this the other day to Jack. I really want to, when we get our own podcast studio at some point, bitch.
Well, I didn't want it to be like right here.
She's like,
well, that's why I put it over here. I didn't want to like.
Wait, I'm sweating.
Okay. So we're just so chaotic.
Going back. So yeah, we didn't get to do a podcast launch party, but we could potentially do it at the end of August.
And we would probably make it open to the public to a certain degree, so you could buy like tickets or something.
Yeah, because
like,
then that'll
really
help.
Cheap tickets,
like maybe like $5
space and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So
just to cover costs. Yeah.
Oh, but that would be so fun. And like, there are a lot of things we're gonna do in season 2, and it is. Let's just talk a little bit about season 2, like what we're envisioning. So it is going to be very different because we will be traveling to meet up with each other. I'm literally at this point, obviously this is not going to release for a little bit. So timestamp, this is, what's today's date? Today is May 26th. So as of today, I'm 5 days away from moving to Paris.
Which is crazy.
When this releases, I will have been in Paris for like probably a month already.
Yeah.
So obviously we're shooting this quite early. But so many things will be different because I will literally be based in France and not in the same city as Georgia. But luckily Georgia is going to be traveling a lot in Europe, and like I'm just going to go meet you wherever you end up basically, and like I'll be back in August for a little bit in LA, and like there's going to be opportunities to record, but the season is going to look different. Yeah,
I think what we're going to try to do is travel. I think it would be cool because now that we have our own equipment and it's pretty like you can travel with it. I think what would be cool is if we are able to somehow go to other creators around the world. And like, for example, if someone's located in Bali, like we'll go to Bali and like we'll literally go to where they live and record an interview with them.
Excited like that.
But yeah, just stuff like that I think would be really cool because I don't see a lot of people because I mean, I'm a travel creator. Like I know you love traveling, so it would be cool to incorporate that into a podcast because I feel like that's the last thing people would think about
when we began the podcast, like we already talked about that. We were like, imagine if you could travel the world and go interview like inspiring creators around the world. And now it's like, without us really planning for it, it's just like happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's like we're being forced to do it. But
oh my God, could you imagine a Shoot Your Shot tour?
That would be so cool.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Anyways, that's way far in the future. We're not nearly there yet. But we are going to be traveling around a bunch, and that's why we really do want you guys to recommend some of your favorite creators, no matter where they are. Like, if they're in freaking Tokyo.
Yeah, we will go to Tokyo.
We will figure out a way to go to Tokyo.
It could be cool, though, because I could reach out to a hotel and say, hey, we're doing this podcast. And, like, they could give us, like, probably nights in exchange to set up a studio in, like, one of their little rooms.
And I can find a brand.
Yeah.
We can incorporate.
Well,
like,
we do want to start.
Resourceful.
We do want to start working with, like, a clothing brand. I think that would be cool.
Well, I already have that figured out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, stay tuned. Stay tuned, season 2.
How did this fall? I didn't even touch it.
I don't know. As you can see, if
we need a slow-mo of that for real.
Say, as you see, or if you've been with us since the start, Claire has always had the mic issues.
I still touch the mic.
She still touches the mic.
Sorry. I really try not to, but
she does.
There's something so satisfying. It's like I just want to like make out with it.
Mic out with it. I like that.
Oh, mic out with it.
Oh, I thought you did that on purpose.
Oh no, I said make out with it.
Oh, I thought you said mic, like mic out with it.
Anyways, so yeah, there's a lot going on, but another?
Oh, I was just saying.
What's another lesson that you've learned? Because I did too.
I would say another lesson that I've learned is communication. Honestly, Claire is probably the only person in my life I have had the worst communication relationship with through text.
You're making me sound horrible in this episode.
No. Like it goes both ways because I think she'll text me at times either I'll be in a position where like I have to like respond super short or like something that might not make sense, and then she'll respond with something that doesn't make sense to me, and it'll just be like this stagnant like back and forth of like, what the fuck are you trying to say? And then I'll just like I'll be like, what? And then she'll be like, what? And then like no progress happens, and then we either have to like call each other or like do a voice audio. But like in the moment, either I'll get annoyed or she'll get annoyed, and we're just like, okay, we obviously are not meant to be texting each other. Like we're both bad at this.
I think we just need to like call on FaceTime moving forward.
Because like she'll say stuff that I get like offended by, or I'll say stuff that she gets offended by. And then when we talk to each other, she's like, that's not how I meant it. And I'm like, that's not how I meant it. And then we're like,
you're the only person who doesn't understand my text, though.
You're the only person who doesn't understand mine. You're the only person who doesn't understand mine.
Georgia adds ha ha ha's after every single text, even when it's like there is no ha 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 needed. Like she's definitely not laughing, so it comes across as passive aggressive. Like she'd be like, I don't like that. Ha ha ha. And I'm like, bitch. I do. And then I'll just reply with like a couple words, and it like, I guess you don't understand what I'm saying.
Because I'm like, well, she's not saying ha ha ha, so she must be pissed.
And I think you're being passive because you're saying ha ha ha.
When really I'm like, no, like ha ha.
You'll be like, I'm running so late. Fuck. Ha ha ha.
So I guess that is actually true. I don't realize that.
Yeah, but also it's funny because actually in real life, she does kind of laugh after everything, even if there's nothing wrong with that.
That's like me.
Whenever I'm here, I'll just hear you in your room and I'll just, it's so quiet. And then all of a sudden I'll hear, like, no, that's not even how your laugh is. You're like, oh,
that sounded manly.
Wait, I need to figure out your laugh. You're always like,
Okay, well, that makes me sound like I have an ugly laugh, bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I can't.
I don't know what I do.
I'm just waiting for you to laugh. I'll point it out when you do it.
I don't know what I do. I think I don't know.
You have a very specific Georgia laugh. It's like,
okay. Well, your laugh is like,
it sounds like a witch.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I know.
I literally crying.
I'm like my eyes are watered. No, I think I guess I do that now that I think about it. I guess I do add ha ha ha. You know, honestly, maybe I should stop doing that. I wonder if that would fix like a lot of problems in my relationship too.
Jack is like, it's not funny, Georgia.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's the big deal? Like, everything's chill. And he's like, it doesn't seem fucking
like,
chill.
I'm having a panic attack. You're like, ha.
Wow, this is like becoming therapy for me. You're opening my eyes to my toxic traits.
Okay, so we want to go through some of our episodes and basically talk about like little memories and like funny moments, which I feel like we just need to first start with the funniest moment in downtown when our shit got stolen.
Oh yeah, we got Uber Eats and it literally got stolen.
Like we got there a little bit late and the guy, I guess, dropped off like the food.
He was so mad.
Coffee. Yeah, because, well, to be fair, you were literally ignoring him and he was there for like 20 minutes.
I know, but I was like trying to set up the podcast equipment. I had no idea my phone was buzzing off.
And he like left everything downstairs. So I went down there and all that there was left was just like one of those like cardboard drink holders with one drink. And we were like, where's the food?
But it was also raining.
Well,
remember?
You had ordered 3 drinks and food.
Yeah.
Everything was gone except for an iced coffee. They had left an iced coffee because they're probably like, what psychopath orders an iced coffee when it's raining and cold outside? So, yeah, our food got stolen. And then what did you think? You thought it was like the security guard who stole it?
I still think it was a security guard because he was probably like, these girls are coming in here every day, fucking around.
Well, he looked suspicious.
He did look suspicious. Mm-hmm. We tried to make eye contact with him and he wouldn't make eye contact with us.
He wouldn't look at us.
He wouldn't. That's why I know he stole the food. He stole my over easy eggs with hash browns inside of turkey sausage.
That sounds disgusting.
What? It's like a good amount of protein. Anyways.
So that was funny. That happened. Also,
we should talk about how we had to go to London to shoot.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say we literally flew to London to record. We recorded 4 episodes in LA and then went to London. And 4? 3? We did 3.
I feel like we recorded more than 4, but only 4 saw the light.
No, not even 4 saw the light.
I was
going
to say, I think like only 2 saw the light.
I think 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
recorded a bunch. The audio was terrible. Things weren't working. Like, there were just so many problems.
I also want everybody to keep in mind, like, this is like a 2-man show. Like, it's literally me and Claire. Like, Jack will pop in when he can, which we are super appreciative for.
Thank God for Jack. Okay, we need to just also after this talk about Jack, because this podcast would not be here without
literally
Jack.
Like, he has been like our emotional support animal through all
He's
of
been
this.
Producer, director, therapist, father, and boyfriend,
literally. But like when me and Claire are, I would say 9 out of 10 times when we record this podcast, it's literally just me and Claire, and we have to set a timer for the camera and restart the camera every 30 minutes. Even because we're still figuring out the audio issues, like we have to then set another timer for every 45 minutes and then reset the audio. And then on top of that, just set up our own little janky tripods, lights.
Look up any podcast on YouTube, especially, they have a full team behind them. Most of them have at least 1 producer, but usually it's like 2 producers.
Or at least somebody helping to man the camera.
We need a producer.
Literally.
Like, it is so hard to do this solo because we want to get into our flow. We just want to be focused on like talking and like doing what we're supposed to do as hosts. But really, we're being hosts, we're being camera op, we're being everything at once, and it's a lot. So.
It's a lot, especially when, I mean, now thankfully we found somebody who helps us out with editing.
Oh, don't even get me started on the editing process that we were going through for a while.
I felt like Claire and I were not going to be friends anymore over the editing process.
Well, I don't do video. I mean, I'm learning it now, but like 6 months ago, I did not know anything about video. And
podcasts are time consuming. Like,
Georgia was like, you need to edit this video. And I'd be like, bro, I've never even touched like Premiere. Like,
I know,
how am I supposed to figure this out in 20 minutes and like have this ready for Friday and it's Thursday night? You know what I mean?
I was just insane. I was like, Claire, just ask your roommate. Come on, like figure something out. And she was like, I have no idea what to do. And I was like, I'm gonna die and cry.
And then you were like in some random country with no Wi-Fi or
service.
No,
the beginning
the
beginning of this podcast, like editing wise, like again, luckily we now have an editor, which has been like such a huge stress relief for us. But like, I was like up from like sunrise to like 11 p.m. like shooting for clients while traveling like nonstop. Like, my sleep is still fucked, but it's fine. But like, I would have to literally like stay up until like then 4 a.m. just to like download the podcast, like edit it, like figure it all out. And like it just, honestly, it made me despise it. I was like, I hate this so much. But
we have an editor now. We have
an editor now. I don't. Claire's like, take it back.
We love the podcast. We do. We were just telling you. Yeah. We're just sharing the behind the scenes.
It's just, but like, yeah, I'm sure other people too could probably relate to that. Like taking on something and then realizing it's a lot more than what you expect, and then having to like literally you can only rely like on yourselves in that moment. Yeah. Like, nobody else is gonna do our podcast for us. Like, it's up to us. So like, unfortunately, like there had to be those nights where I was in Belize, like on like 1 bar of Wi-Fi. I don't want to talk about
Belize. Belize was traumatic for me.
Trying to upload the podcast and edit it. And I stole her memory card.
Had my client work on there.
And I was like by the hotel, like trying to upload them for her.
And it's like 47 hours of upload time.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, just on that note, like I think to maybe make that more inspirational than negative. Me and Claire, again, obviously we've had Jack's help, which we are so grateful for, but he isn't always here. Like, he helps us on the back end, like coming up with questions and like giving us that emotional like motivation to keep going.
But Jack truly has kept this podcast going behind the scenes, and we are so utterly grateful to you, Jack. Like, honestly, don't think Georgia and I don't think there would be 20 episodes. There wouldn't. I mean, maybe, because actually you and I don't give up. But
I was gonna say
they would have just been significantly worse without you.
I was gonna say I think our friendship probably would have been affected more, because I remember I was like so just like up, like I literally at like 3 a.m. I remember being like, I can't do this. Like, I have to be up in 2 hours to shoot something for a client. Like, I can't do this podcast. Like, it's not gonna go out tomorrow. And like Jack would come in and like save the day and say like, I'm going to edit it. I'm going to stay up with you. I got you.
He saved us.
Truly. And like just moments like that we are so grateful for.
We love him. We love you, Jack.
Yeah.
We owe you our lives.
Literally. But no, on that note, like to bring it back to like when you and I are just doing it, I think if anybody has any idea, whether it's a podcast, a company, just, I don't know, like a shoot, literally any idea, like, I don't know, again, I'm trying to like make this inspirational, but not too cheesy. Like, if you want to do it, you are the only person stopping yourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, me and Claire could have given up easily on this podcast in so many situations that we probably won't even get to discuss on this episode, but we didn't. Even if we like hated it, we still did it. Even if we were like so tired, we still did it. Even if we were cranky, like, I don't know, if we had other stuff going on in our minds, like, we still showed up for ourselves because it was something that we wanted to do.
And the reality of starting a business, whatever the business is that the beginning sucks. The beginning is a lot of work. It's confusing. It's just stressful.
You're not going to be happy with it.
You're not going to be making money up the front. You're probably not
going to we haven't made a single dollar off of this podcast.
And we have not made any money. We just lost money.
I know.
But that's the reality. That's how it was for for my career, at least when I began. I assume the same for you. Like, I wasn't making money the first like year. More than that, you know? Like, it takes a long time, and like nothing good comes easy. That's just the truth. Like, it takes hard work to really do big things in life, and we are very cognizant of that. And this podcast, I know, is going to go places, and we're excited for it. But I think when we started being like, it's going to blow up within 2 months, and we're going to have $10,000 a month coming in for the podcast. And, you know, wishful thinking. And we still hope that happens in the future. Yeah. But the reality is, it takes a lot of work. And if it's something that you really want, you just got to push through.
Exactly.
No matter how hard. And like, we are pushing through. We're still going to probably push through a lot this year, because season 2 is going to have its own set of challenges. Yes. But you can't give up if it really means something to you. And if you do give up, then like, that's just not meant for you.
Exactly.
Because, like I said, nothing good comes easy.
Which I think brings me into another lesson that I've not learned, but have developed more with this podcast, is consistency. Because I think I mean, like, if it's client work, like, I have no issue with that. But I always say, like, I'm so bad at keeping consistent with, like, my own personal brand, with, like, my own ideas that I want to do. And because I'm in this with you and you help hold me accountable, I think that's another really good thing, is we both hold each other accountable. Like this podcast is, like, 50-50. Like, if one of us doesn't do something, the other one's like, come on, like, get your shit together, do it, and vice versa.
That's true.
So I think consistency is a huge lesson this podcast has taught me, because we have an episode come out every Thursday, and like, we've like
sometimes Fridays,
and so sometimes it hasn't been every Thursday at the exact time that we want, but we still put one out every week.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that for 15 weeks now?
15 weeks, bro.
That's insane. Crazy. Well, I guess
by this one, it'll have been 20 weeks.
That's crazy.
It's a long time. On that note, 2 things I think we should do.
Yes.
1, I think we should share things that we love and appreciate about each other because of going on this journey together.
Okay.
And before we do that, I want to end on that segment, but do you want to open your iPad?
Oh, yeah.
I think let's go through and talk about our favorite episodes. Like, we can each pick 1 or 2 that we really love.
Okay. I know some of my favorite episodes haven't gone out yet at this moment of filming this.
Well, no, we can still talk about them.
Yeah, well,
they're out. They're out for people listening to this.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let me see. I think the Instagram verification debate was a fun one.
That was a good one.
I think it was good because, like, you and I both had such different opinions, and neither of us catered towards each other. Like, you were very set on, this is my thought, and I was very set on, okay, well, this is my thought. Like,
I loved that people loved that too. Like, we got so much engagement on socials, but one of my friends was like, I really enjoyed that because you guys hated each other's opinions and disagreed, but you kept it respectful, and no one can debate with respect these days, and it was just wonderful to see.
Oh, really?
But yeah, DJ.
That's funny. Nobody can debate with respect.
Yeah, DJ was so hyped that, like, even though we like disagreed with each other, we were still like, okay, well, I understand where you're coming from.
I know. That is funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was one of your favorites?
The pet peeves one are like traumatic for me. I feel like those are my least favorite because of like how intense I was on those.
No, but that's good that you were intense.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't like the pet peeves. I listened back and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so mean.
Claire just thinks she sounds like a bitch on them.
I do. I sound horrible on them. But you know what's funny? The other day, someone commented, I think it was Chris, someone commented
that this is your therapy?
My therapy. He was like, the podcast is Claire's therapy. Which I'm like, oh, you're not wrong. Okay, honestly, my favorite has got to be the one with Natasha, just the alien part. I have never laughed so hard in my life when she was like, we had to write contracts because we don't want to, in case there's an alien invasion, we don't want to be sued.
Yeah,
and
that was so
like,
funny.
I could not believe that was real life. I was like, that's insane. I thought hers was really good, and like went to like a really beautiful, vulnerable place.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, honestly, I think my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pick a favorite, dude. There's so many. I would say the two that I love the most are Sam Newton and Julia Gardner.
Yeah, I also really love Reinhardt's too, because he gave a lot of really good, just, I don't know, I feel like advice that we all can relate to and be reminded of.
Yeah, that's true. And he shared a lot about like his self-love journey. Exactly. And that's really important within your creative journey. I loved the episode with Julia. I feel like the three of us really flowed well together, and we talked about an array of things, but I think it just felt like a very relatable conversation.
It didn't feel like we were doing a podcast.
No, it was just a conversation, and I feel like especially for the girls, it was really relatable.
Yeah.
And her energy was amazing. Like, I just love her. I think that was such a good episode. And then Sam is just freaking Sam Newton.
I love Sam's episode. He was so funny.
Yeah, he was just great. Like the potato segment was just like, what was it called again?
Pick your potato.
Pick your potato. Like that segment is iconic.
I know. I hope everyone loves it.
Yeah, that one was so good. I also loved again, there's so many things that we ended up using. There's a couple episodes that we never ended up using.
We should make our own edit, like just for socials. Is the plant's attacking her? We should make our own like social media edit where we take a lot of stuff that we didn't use, just so we could at least, I don't know, show for because I feel bad because some of the people we didn't put out there, it wasn't anything that they did wrong. It was just our audio and our technology just didn't work. Yeah. Which we're upset about, and we're going to try to re-record new interviews with them. But it would be cool to kind of put out the stuff that never saw the light.
True. One of my other favorite episodes was Laura. She had such a unique story. It was such a different story compared to other creators, just because, for the most part, we've been interviewing a lot of, cinematographers, photo, just creative directors, that kind of stuff. But Laura was in a completely different field, but still very much creative. And I feel like I learned so much from her. And she's just so badass, like an all-female mechanic,
creating
auto
her
shop
own garage in London.
So freaking cool. So that was really fun.
I feel like next season I know we wanted to do it this season, but obviously there's only so many episodes in time. But I do think we should venture into other abstract creative jobs that people don't assume is in the creative. I remember we talked about an interior designer one time.
Dancers.
I could bring
Jenna and Val on.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of other people that we want to bring on that are a little bit outside of our creative zone, but they're still
in the creative industry.
Exactly. So we have a lot coming up there. But yeah, it was just this season. It feels like, I don't know. I don't quite have how would you describe this whole season in one word?
I would say, if I could describe this season in one word, I mean, I would say chaotic.
Chaotic.
I was going to say because it was very chaotic. But maybe also,
I would say growth.
Growth. That is true though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, and to kind of go into what you were saying before, where you want to say nice things about each other.
Let's be nice to each other.
Let's be nice to each other. I'm like, Claire's attacking me in this. And then I'm like, wait, let me be nice. I think that I've learned a lot about accountability from you. A lot about perseverance and just, again, my own self-growth with being consistent to a project instead of just letting it slip. I know there's just been a lot of passion projects that I want to do, but I always think that I don't have enough time to do them because I'm so consumed in other stuff. So having you be my accountability buddy and business partner, which is so weird to think. I always think of we're co-hosts, but then we're actually business partners too.
Yeah.
Has shown me that I am capable of being able to do more than what I already thought I was pushing myself to the limit, but you showed me that I do have the potential to push myself even further despite me not feeling like I can. Which I think is a really beautiful thing that you're able to show me.
Aw, I'm glad. I would say that Well, you've inspired me in a lot of ways, and like
I have more, but I'm like, I have more.
Give me more compliments.
You're like, tell me more.
No, I mean, I think that we've just learned so much from each other in this process, and one of the things that I look up to you the most is that you take on a lot, and you have a level of professionalism that I really look up to. I think that the way you're very like streamlined, like even though you're one of the most chaotic people I've ever met in my life, you're very streamlined when it comes to work. Like you prioritize your business always. And I think that a lot of creators say they're like business people, but like realistically they're not. They don't prioritize their work. They're more prioritizing the experience or prioritizing like the fun side of being a business owner. But like you take your shit so seriously, and like I feel like you always have calls going on. You're always reaching out. You're very like, you do things right away. You don't wait. Like when you're like, I'm going to do this for the podcast, you like go do it right there and then. You're not like waiting for a week. And I've worked with other people where it's like, I have to remind them constantly, like, you need to also like put in the work. I'm the only one working right now. And I feel like in this situation, you work harder than me, which like for me, I think like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like I know I'm a hard worker. And so to have like someone one up me with their hard work, I'm like, damn, okay. Like I need to work even harder, but which is really good. Cause like I want to be pushed, you know, like I want the people around me that I love the most, that I'm the closest to like push me in a direction where I become better in all ways, whether it's business or personal. And I feel like you do that in both ways, actually. Like you help me so stay motivated, and like I see everything that you're doing and I'm like, okay, like I can do just as much. Like I can push myself even further because I know Georgia can. And then on the personal side, I love how much you love people and how you're so like empathetic, and like I'm not the most empathetic person. Like I am a little bit more like no filter and like just straight to the point, and you're very like, you just want people to feel good, and I love that about you.
But that can be like a curse sometimes, because like sometimes I'm like, I shouldn't care if that person feels good. Like I should care more about myself right now.
But it is really beautiful that you empathize with people really deeply, and you have a really big heart. And I'm always like, oh, she's just like so sweet. Like everybody loves you. People are obsessed with you. It's so cute.
Really?
Like,
I always feel like, I was just talking about this the other day. I would love to like just always be in a room where like I'm not in it, and like something gets brought up with like either, I don't know, I feel like anybody would like this, like to be in a room and like you get brought up and just hear how people like talk about you, but not even to see if they actually like me, but like just to see like
what they say,
because maybe like I do things that I don't know that I do, and if people are talking about it without me there, then I'm like, oh, maybe I should work on that.
Yeah, I feel like it would really depend what room.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Some rooms are probably obsessed with me. Other rooms
Claire has
probably
like
not.
some skeletons that she's
no,
like,
I don't have skeletons in my closet. But you know how it is. Like, I don't know. I feel like, listen, I'm big personality, very alpha female, and not everybody loves that, and that's okay.
That is true. You like, actually know.
Fine.
I want to give you a compliment there too. I think that for me, especially just like in this industry, because it's very male dominated, as a lot of us know. It's always been so challenging for me to find like an actual other female that has a similar mindset of, I want to grind, I want to work, like I want to be the best version of myself, like whether that's personal, business, whatever. And I think you are one of the very few people that I've met where I can actually lean into you as a like beyond business, like an actual friend too, because you share that same quality and same mindset. And like, it's so hard. I mean, I don't know for you, but like it's so hard to find other like girls that are either like that or like, because you're a very like alpha female, which is good. That's a really good quality to have. But like when you walk into a room, and this is a compliment, like you can intimidate other people because you're and like more alpha, but like that you don't intimidate them in a bad way. It's because you come in and you're like very confident with who you are, and you know what you want, and like you're there to be yourself and like nobody else, and like unapologetically you. And I love that about you, because like that's, I don't know, I just feel like that's so hard to find.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Like, I love that about you.
It's so like, you know, some people love it, some people hate it.
But that's the thing. But like you don't care either way, because like that's how I am. Like I go into a room.
Care. I'm like a sensitive alpha. Deep down, I'm like, I hope they like me.
I know.
No, but I think, I mean, I don't know how it is for you, but like I have 6 brothers and I come from like immigrant parents. So it's like I just everything in my and I'm French. I don't know if you guys have ever like hung out with French people. They're very like
just like blunt,
no filter, very like I will hurt your feelings.
Yeah, but no, that's like how I grew up like very like on the East Coast mindset with a lot of like
we're
guys.
Both very East Coast.
Yeah,
like mentality.
And like I've had a lot of guy friends, so like that just like straightforward like blunt behavior is just instilled in me. But like I don't know. Especially over here in the fucking West Coast, a lot of people can't handle that. Yeah. Or they think you're being mean. And I'm like, no, like, I'm like, this is just normal. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people like to sugarcoat shit in LA, especially.
You can still be kind. Like, I don't think I'm an unkind person.
No. It's just like, this is coming off as not a good compliment.
I'm just saying, like, you can be both strong and confident and, like, know what you want and, like, be nice, you know? Yeah. Like, I feel like so many times we expect women to just be, like, sweet and like feel good and like, oh, she's just a sweet girl, and I'm like, I've accepted I'll never be that girl, but at the same time, like, that's okay because I'm still very nice. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Like, well, I hate bullshitters. Like, just tell me how it is. It causes so many more issues to like
try to like figure out what you're thinking
and stuff. Yeah, like imagine if you and I never like actually communicated and never were because there were times where we just sat down and we were like, I'm annoyed by you right now, or like you hurt my feelings, or like
that is
we're having a fight and we talk about it. We don't just like let it like slide for like
I can't
3
do that.
months.
I get like I think we went to go get food and then we didn't talk about it yet, and I was like,
we need to talk about it.
I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't drive unless we start talking about it.
You know, you have those like people in your life where like you know that if there's a problem, like it'll never get addressed because they're just gonna like hide from conflict. And like I get it, some people are like that, but especially in business, and this goes back to like what we've learned. You have to communicate everything. You cannot let it fester because 3 downs, 4, 3. What did I just say?
3
downs.
3 down.
3 months down the road, even like a year, 2 years, you're gonna end up having all this resentment, and like it's just better to iron it all out, communicate. And this goes for personal relationships, but like especially business. Like you gotta just talk about it. And why would you want to deal with like 10 issues in a year versus just addressing each issue one by one? You know what I mean?
Which I will say, I think that's another good thing like from this like podcast that I think we've both learned is I probably had like, I don't want to say difficult because like you and I, once we talk about something, like we're really good at communicating. Like we don't get angry or yell. Like
we let it go.
And we let it go. And we like, we have like very mature conversations whenever we're both upset. But I think we've had so many difficult conversations that I feel like could affect a friendship since we're also doing business. And I think I really value that we've been able to work through those and still be able to be like Dumb and Dumber Claire afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we like
my favorite version of us.
Literally. Like there's like that is true. There's like 2 different versions of us. There's like the serious business podcast. Okay, let's get shit done.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like we have this like switch, which I love this about you because this is how I am. Like I'll turn off that switch and I'll just be full in like ditzy, like chaotic, psycho, drunk Georgia mode. Yeah. And like Claire's the same way.
It's so funny because like I feel like our friendship initially started because we both were like kind of personalities. Like we just send everything, like high energy, like kind of like a little Dumb and Dumber.
Literally.
And then we do have this like very like okay, ABC, we got to get this done. But I just I love and appreciate the business version.
Oh, there goes the coffee.
The business version of us. But
it's almost empty, dude.
The business version.
Do you hear these chairs?
I know. We're gonna figure this out for next week. Actually, I won't be here, so
we'll figure something out.
I'm never gonna have these squeaky chairs again. But the Dumb and Dumber version of us, if you guys don't know us, I hope that eventually at some point that energy comes through the podcast because it's so fun. Like I feel like you and I rile each other up. Like
we do.
I push a little, you push a little, I push a little, you push a little, and the next thing you know, we're both just like absolute psychos in the best way. It's so fun.
We both give each other this like look where we're like, is it time? Like, are we gonna do this?
You know what's funny is like I feel like when we're at a party or like in a social situation, I've noticed that if we both are kind of like if it's kind of a boring environment or like we both are like meh, we just look at each other and we're like.
Right now, we're like, do we go put on our music and dance and try to get people to go weird?
Like, I had a little going away beach party last weekend. And at one point, like, the music was playing, but not a lot of people were dancing. And I just started dancing, and I look at Georgia, and I was like,
I know, and I went over and started dancing.
And then it just turns into a party. But it is really fun. I love that, like, we have a very...
It's like we, like... I don't know.
Symbiotic. No, that's not the word.
That might be symbiotic chaoticness.
It's like a chaoticness. Like, what does this mean?
Intersecting, intertwining, interlocking,
connecting.
We are connecting. You're like, if you see us on YouTube, we're both just doing this with our fingers.
We are
connecting.
But yeah, anywho, it's been so good doing this with you. I'm so happy we started it. And like, we still have not known each other for a year, bro.
Oh my God.
It hasn't been a year, you guys. It's not even been 11 months.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claire and I met in July 2022.
4th.
Yeah, July 4th.
July 3rd.
July 3rd, 2022.
Oh, easy. We have our little meeting anniversary, July 3rd.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I know. It's like mental. I feel like I've known you for 10 years.
I know. I was going to say, I feel like we've been like sisters at this point.
Like, I feel like I know you better than some of my friends I've known in LA for 6.5 years.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
But we do see each other all the fucking time.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But even before we started the podcast.
Yeah, that is true.
Like when I was trying to get a hold of you when I was in France and you were in like Austria or something.
Oh, Slovenia.
That's
right.
I feel like we already were like
on the same wavelength.
It's like bros, but like, cause sisters it's not the same.
It's like bros. Yeah. Like bros. We were bro already.
Yeah, we were broing out. But anyways, I now want to I just want to thank you guys. I just want to thank our audience, everybody that's listened, like all of you, but especially the ones that have been consistently listening. Like, you do not know how much it means to us. Like, I know everybody says that on podcasts, but like when you create something, you are so afraid of like people not liking it, because especially when you're creating something for other people. Like, I don't create my art necessarily for other people, but a podcast is literally for an audience. And so for Georgia and I to get these like sweet messages and know that people are consistently listening is just like
insane.
It's crazy. It makes me emotional.
I know.
Like, it truly is a gift, and like we don't take it for granted.
We honestly would probably not have had the perseverance to keep pushing through this.
Also, we're matching. Guys,
yeah, guys, we're matching. Isn't this cute?
So cute.
Okay, anyways, what I was going to say is, if it weren't even for the like 5 people, let's say, who really loved our podcast and told us how much they liked it, like, not that we need that, but like we kind of do.
No, we do.
Because we need reassurance and validation. But like, I've had people message me where they were working like a 9 to 5, and literally the podcast inspired them to really pursue creating.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they like quit their 9 to 5 and now they're full-time creating.
Wow.
I know.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I think I forgot to tell you. I added it to our shared album of like screenshots of stuff.
Yeah, we take screenshots of all the people who
send us nice things.
And we're gonna make some sort of like compilation at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to just like go into that folder whenever we're like sad or like
just
stressed
read them.
and just read the comments. To be
honest.
honest.
But honestly, like, even those 5 people, like, I don't think we would have had the perseverance to even push as far as we have now without you guys supporting us and letting us know like, hey, this actually does help. And we've even had people tell us like, hey, I would probably fix this about your podcast only because they want us to get better. And like, we really value that information. Like, we don't want to be told all of the good things. Like, if it is good, great. But if it's bad, like, we really value even that. Like, people just care.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, because it just shows that you're caring enough about us and this idea that we're doing to want it to be better.
Yeah. And the point of this podcast is to educate, to inspire, but we just want it to be a place of relatability, because there's so many things that happen in the industry that like we don't necessarily talk about. And sometimes we feel alone in that. And so being able to put this on the podcast and then hearing from you guys that you understand, you empathize, it's like very validating for us, because we're like, okay, we're not crazy. Like,
it is.
We're experiencing these insane things, but like, so are you guys. And it just feels good, because you don't really go to school for this stuff. You don't really study this stuff most of the time. Like, there's no rule book. There's no like how to become becoming a lawyer. There's like steps.
Yeah, and there's no
how to become exactly. There's no like how to become a creator. It's so every journey is unique, but there are so many similarities. And so like,
and it's very isolating. Like,
it is.
This industry, as much as it doesn't seem like it's isolating, it's a very, very isolating industry.
Even in a place like LA where there's so many creators, sometimes you're just like in your freaking room editing for a week straight and you like feel alone. And
that's literally been me the past week. Me and Jack, we've just been like editing, and I'm like,
editing week. Yeah.
But like, it's crazy because even though it's only a week, like a week is really like actually a short amount of time. But when you're there editing for a week, you feel like your entire life has gone by in a year and you're like, what have I done?
That week of editing isn't once a year.
Yeah.
It's like every other week.
Literally.
So it's like it happens a lot. But yeah, this is, as much as I hope this has been validating for you guys, it's been very validating for us as well, to know that like we're not alone and like so many people understand, and even just stupid things like the creator pet peeves. It's like, okay, glad I'm not the only one who thinks this is annoying, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's really, and I hope we've created the type of platform so far just from this season where it can just be relatable, because like we didn't come into this looking to say we are the best of the best and know everything, here's all of our tips. Like we came into this as a voice, especially like a female voice, because there's not a lot of female creator voices I feel like out there doing stuff like this, to just say like, hey, this is like we're both pretty successful in what we're doing, but we still fuck up. We make mistakes. Like we're not perfect.
We still get confused. We still feel lonely.
We don't know how to do everything. We're still learning. And like, I think we're always going to be still learning.
Yeah. Aw, makes me so happy. I wanted to have a podcast for so long, you guys. And like, yeah, I'm just so happy that this is real, that this is like a part of our lives now. And like, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And like, I'm excited for it to keep growing and building. And I know we're going to,
and all of our like crazy ideas come into play. Yeah. Cause I think now with this season, like we've kind of developed like who we are as a brand, like developed discussions, ideas and stuff.
Georgia has a meeting, so she's got to go. Anyways, guys, love you all.
We love you. Much. Thank you so much for tuning into this season. You guys are the best.
We'll see you season 2. Stay tuned. Please follow us on all the things. I'm not going to repeat myself because you guys already know.
Yeah, and I have to go for a call. And this is exactly.
We have to go. This is what we mean. We say chaotic. She has a call right now, and we have a guest coming in.
Okay.
So love
Bye.
you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you.